favorite, in the early rounds, Mayweather was put under pressure for one of the few times in his career.
And that may be the hardest punch that Floyd Mayweather has taken in recent years.
Superior work rate and counterpunching allowed Floyd to put Hatton on the back foot. After a flurry of punches, Hatton was knocked down in the 10th, and that's all she wrote.
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. Always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons.
In boxing, pressure fighters, sluggers, counterpunchers, the list goes on. And in the final weeks of preparation to a bout, fighters fine-tune their style to best suit the man who will face them. It's a process of daily accretion, sharpening, strategizing, and revealing their own weaknesses. However, ability to switch up their game plan entirely, to adapt to their opponent's asset completely away from them.
Look at this, the play!
A skill which, for Floyd Mayweather in particular, became the backbone of his success.
Floyd Mayweather has the uncanny ability to collect data to make those adjustments.
Last month, we saw Pacquiao beat Broner in a comfortable points win. A victory he hopes reopens the door to a Mayweather rematch.
Tell him to come back to the ring, and then we will fight. I'm willing to fight again to Floyd Mayweather.
A chance once again to crack the code. And whilst the matchup may or may not happen, it once again gives us the opportunity to reflect from the perspective of sparring partners and former opponents at just how it felt to be up against the self-proclaimed TBE.
I never said I was a checkers player. I'm a chess player. I play chess. Every move is calculated.
Click Thumbs Jr. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation. It's easy to come up with a game plan. I do this, I do that. Yet amongst the thousands of varied strategies of how people would beat him, none prevailed.
I'm always ready, physically and mentally.
Mike Tyson said he would make the fight mean and dirty.
That's the credit on how masterful he is. You have to be dirty, you gotta be rough, you have to use elbows, head, you have to use everything. And this guy, as far as his style is concerned, this guy is a master fighter.
Whilst Lomachenko is left scratching his head.
Nobody win Mayweather. Nobody. If I fight Mayweather and he use this, I don't know. I need to sit and think about this.
Similarly, looking through his former opponents, it's clear that despite not being a huge puncher, Floyd's evasive style made him a nightmare.
Mayweather beginning to operate like a surgeon. Fighting Floyd Mayweather is a dose of cold reality.
First up, Zab Judah. Since the fight, Judah gave huge credit to Mayweather's defensive style. And likewise, after training alongside Floyd in the later years, acknowledged his outstanding work ethic.
He trains like he's broke, no joke. He trains like he don't have a dollar, and now I understand why you can put the cap on him and call him TBE. I fought him. I'm not slow and I don't hit soft. You know what I mean? The boy, he knows how to get away. You got to call an ace a spade a spade. His defense is very great.
If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
A year later, one of the most defining fights of his career against Oscar De La Hoya.
This is a sports spectacle. This is sensational.
The biggest PPV bout at the time, and a very similar showcase to the Judah fight.
De La Hoya is attacking him, so now De La Hoya has to somehow get through without getting hit.
Oscar looked good in the early to mid rounds, but seemed to run out of gas in the second half of the fight. Landing the cleaner, harder shots, Floyd nullified De La Hoya's jab and took control of the fight.
Mayweather has adjusted to De La Hoya coming in on him, and he's firing off first, even as De La Hoya is attacking him.
Despite never being best of friends, Oscar has since reflected on the bout with praise for Mayweather. After the Mosley fight, he even called Floyd the best.
Mayweather has the skills to beat anybody. He has the talent. He has the work ethic. We really have to commend him for that. Tonight convinced me, I have to say the truth, convinced me that he is the best.
That's what you call a masterpiece of boxing. And he's going, he's one of the best fighters in our era. And I showed you what I could do to one of the best fighters in our era.
Mayweather was a master under pressure, and alongside this, he made sure his opponents felt the magnitude of the occasion.
Takes on the pretty boy.
And next up, against Ricky Hatton, that's exactly what he did. Hatton was set on attacking Mayweather, much to fans' enjoyment. And sure enough, Emmanuel Stewart had the fight level after 5 rounds. However, superior work rate and counterpunching allowed Floyd to put Hatton on the back foot. After a flurry of punches, Hatton was knocked down in the 10th, and that's all she wrote.
Mayweather has a knockout victory over Ricky Hatton.
Even though the loss hit Hatton hard, he still has plenty of courteous words towards the American.
I'm not saying I'd have won the fight anyway because he's Floyd Mayweather. When I look what he's done from that fight, what he's done since, you know, he'll go down as arguably the greatest of all time.
Next up, another big puncher, Shane Mosley. Despite entering as a 1-4 favorite, in the early rounds, Mayweather was put under pressure for one of the few times in his career.
And that may be the hardest punch that Floyd Mayweather has taken in recent years.
Yet, in a similar fashion, after Mosley taking the first 2 rounds, Floyd reasserted himself and began to take control.
Trust me, he's a defeated man now. I mean, I think the spirit and everything is gone.
Floyd pot-shotted his way to a unanimous victory. Showing admiration, Mosley acknowledged Mayweather's ring IQ and craftiness, as well as his technical ability.
I caught him in the second round, and you know he cleared his head up, held, did what he needed to do, and he came back, and he beat me every round after that.
Other more recent fighters who had plenty to say about their clashes with Money Mayweather came from more recent bouts, most of which turned out to be much more one-sided than intended. The likes of Canelo, Cotto, and an incredible breakdown from Mayweather's 49th opponent, Andre Berto.
He gets you so frustrated that you think you finally have him and you end up too anxious to get to the target.
In a fight where, even at 38 years old, Floyd outmaneuvered and outsmarted a young and dangerous opponent.
He's so defensive and elusive, and you steady punching, and you keep swinging, and you see him looking at you like...
Landing 56% of punches thrown to Berto's 16%. Floyd jabbed and moved the whole fight, making it look easy. Berto described fighting Mayweather as a totally different experience to anything else in boxing.
Just knows every part of that ring. He knows every little small thing, so he doesn't have to work too hard.
Whether we get to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 remains to be seen. And the final decision at such late stages of both fighters' careers will all come down to money. Though how much of an impact it has on either fighter's career will be debatable. And with the mind games, the trademark Philly shell stance, and the ability to adjust to any opponent, there is a clear-cut reason that we may never see a single tally against that second column of Mayweather's resume.
In the gym every day. Let's give me